Well, we're proud of our landmark Indian Tigers and Tigresses initiative, and today Sports Minister Manshukh Mandavia, he hailed this initiative, this campaign organized by the TV9 Network. The historic initiative witnessed a nationwide hunt for India's top young football enthusiasts who participated in the mega event in huge numbers across the country. The Union Sports Minister encouraged the players on their return to the country after a landmark trip to Europe. Mr. Mandavia pushed the young champions to work hard and aim big for the 2036 Olympics, and also urged them to help the country make a mark in the FIFA World Cup. He also motivated the youngsters by citing the example of the Indian Army personnel who, like sportsmen, have the prestigious opportunity to represent the country. He interacted with the kids, asked them about their experience in Europe, and reposed faith in India's footballing future. From a whopping 50,000 registrations, 10,000 participants were selected for the regional trials, but only 28 talented superstars were shortlisted for this special training program in Austria and Germany. The Indian Tigers and Tigresses campaign, hailed as the world's biggest football talent hunt program for age groups of 12 to 14 and 15 to 17 categories, was launched in April 2024 and concluded with 28 footballers realizing their football dream. The young football champions showed remarkable resilience, skill and determination during this intense and rigorous training sessions under top European coaches in Gmunden in Austria.
आप सब लोग टैलेंटेड, आप सब में एक क्षमता है, आप सब रोनाल्डो हो सकते हैं। रोनाल्डो बनना होता है, पैदा नहीं होता। आप भी बन सकते हैं, इसलिए आपको यहाँ अच्छी ट्रेनिंग देनी है, व्यवस्था कराते हैं, अच्छा खेलना है। 2036 में इंडिया में ओलंपिक्स था, फीफा वर्ल्ड कप में देश को आगे बढ़ाना है। सरकार ने उसके लिए सारी व्यवस्था करी है, तैयारी करी है। आपको एकदम खेलना है, जोश के साथ खेलना है और सेलिब्रिटी बनना है।
From the 28 kids, 4 little champions were chosen to go to VfB Stuttgart and train with the top coaches from the German club. What was that experience like for these kids? What did they learn? Kabir Naqvi, my colleague, he has this detailed report. Enjoy this as we say goodbye. Thanks for watching.
When one says German football, one has to think about the culture and the tradition that the entire city and the town brings to a stadium as well. The fans here in Germany have a lot to say as to who the club should buy, who needs to play. The media pieces talk about which player is doing well, which isn't doing well. You don't have 70% tourists who are coming in. It's the football ultras that own the feel, the vibe of the entire stadium as well. And we're currently in the heart of Stuttgart at VfB Stuttgart. You're looking at the DFB Pokal scores right around you because Stuttgart just a couple of days back made it to the finals of the DFB Pokal Cup. Another major achievement. They're playing a third division side, but then again, nothing can go wrong in the finals as well. The 4 selected Indian Tigers and Tigresses, well, they are here, and I'm going to show you over the next couple of minutes what is it that they're going to be doing, because there's training, there's brain kinetics, they're also going to be meeting a legend as well, and then of course there's the stadium tour. I am standing in the stadium bowl. There's a lot of dirty secrets that we need to talk about as well, about where the guest changing room is, what the home changing room looks like, what the stadium bowl looks like, and there's the Porsche Tunnel Club as well, the most exclusive, one of the most exclusive places in this entire stadium. So stay tuned, keep watching this episode, and we have more for you.
From the calm training grounds of Austria to the thundering footsteps echoing through one of Germany's biggest football temples, VfB Stuttgart, our Tigers and Tigresses were about to live a dream.
Well, so the 4 selected Indian Tigers and Tigresses, 2 Tigers, 2 Tigresses, They did come here to VfB Stuttgart, our youth development partner, and let me tell you, there was too much in store for these young Tigers and Tigresses. They arrived at the stadium and instantly got down to the action. There was a first training session with the under-12s, and let me tell you, don't underestimate those under-12 kids. The speed, the agility, and the fraction of seconds that they needed to get the ball going, well, they did shut our Indian Tigers and Tigresses up just a little bit, but then again, they did pick up pace. It was the first time they were doing, and mind you, we're talking about VfB Stuttgart. Even their under-12s are some of the best players across the country. And that's not even it. Stuttgart in itself has a lot of traditional and cultural base when you're talking about football. It starts at a very young time, at a very young level. The coaches are constantly scouting for the next big thing that is going to come off the blocks. And it was a great opportunity that our kids got a chance, well, to train with those under-12s and the under-13s. I had earlier spoken to Coach Bjorn Peter, who's also the international coach at VfB Stuttgart. Take a listen at what Coach Bjorn Peter had to say about his selection process and what these kids should take away when they go back home.
The moment we reached, there was no time to waste. The kids laced up, hearts pounding, for their very first training session with Stuttgart's under-12 squad. Don't be fooled by the age group. This was no ordinary practice. Stuttgart's youth setup is among the most respected in Europe. For our players, it was a real test. Intense drills, fast-paced passing, precision, pressure. It was a reality check and an eye-opener.
I talked about the strength that every kid should have and that he or she should cherish. And for those kids, Manef, for example, he was very clever, so he was very understanding of the space. He knew how to move to actually give him an opportunity to go to the front. So I really enjoyed that, and I loved his understanding of the game. The others, especially the girls, very quick on their feet. I loved how they communicated. Of course, one lady that already plays in a certain level in India as well. You could see that, but as well the other one that maybe plays on a different level in India, but showed very good potential and a very nice understanding of the game. But especially her first touch was very good. She always tried to get that first touch into a space where she has now a little more time to actually attack the room. So I really enjoyed that. So yeah, that spark, that little thing that is just a little, takes them apart from the other kids, that was something.
You know, when one talks about football, there is of course two aspects of the brain one has to take a look at. The thinking portion and of course the portion that uses your motor skills as well. Now here at VfB Stuttgart, they take things just a little bit seriously as well, because you see what happens is you need the smoothest of transitions from this side of the head to the other side. So today our kids with a FIFA A-class trainer, Manuel, he was making them do some really crazy exercises. I was taking a look from the sidelines, you know, like juggling the ball whilst dribbling, juggling the ball whilst passing, all of this to smoothly transfer what the thinking part of your brain is doing and transfer it to the motor ability part as well. A lot of times what you see happen in street football back at home in India is that the students are playing, the kids are playing, and they're constantly looking at the ball without seeing what happens where with what kind of vision. So to inculcate that right kind of vision for these kids as well, they were doing exercises with their hands and they were constantly doing exercises with their feet as well. Some of those glimpses that you can already see, but then again, I got a chance to speak to the coach, Manuel. Again, he's a FIFA A licensed coach. Listen in to what he had to say about the exercises he made them do and what he thought about the standard of players and how were they picking up and keeping pace.
Bjorn Peter's words weren't just praise, they were direction. A roadmap for our players to carry back home about discipline, decision-making, and dynamism. The day ended with dinner and much-needed rest. But day two came with a twist. Enter the Brain Kinetics coach, a FIFA A-license expert in cognitive motor training. It wasn't just football anymore. It was about wiring the brain to think faster, sharper, even better. The drills looked simple, but they were scientifically designed to boost agility, memory, and reaction time. And the kids were loving the challenge.
For me, it's really important because our brain is controlling all movements. So if you improve your movements, you also have to improve your brain. And while doing this training sessions with brain kinetics, you're improving the connections in your brain. We did some different exercises. We're doing some dribbling actions where we're concentrating with the dribbling with the foot, and also doing some exercises while dribbling with our hands. So it's not easy because normally while dribbling, most players, they look all the time at the ball, but we want to look them up. So we took the ball, the smaller ones, in the hand, and they have to throw it. So it's not easy for them to control both the smaller balls in the air and the big ball at the ground. And at the end we did some, it's called about the reaction, because if you want to have an advantage against your opponent, it's also important to be quicker, not also while moving, also while decisions. All right. So these were the exercises, and I think the boys and girls had a lot of fun. Me too, as a coach. For me it's also important to have exercises where the group has fun. The players did good because they didn't know the exercises. They didn't do this before, normally, but they did really good. So for me it was easy to get step by step, to get to the next step. So I was recognizing them that they improve the exercises very good. So it was a good training session.
Well, when you're talking about VfB Stuttgart, there are so many names that are associated with this legend of a Bundesliga club. You're looking at Undav, you're looking at Shabot, you're also looking at number 9, Demirovic as well. But the kids, the Indian Tigers and Tigresses, got a chance to speak with one very famous legend associated with Stuttgart. She calls Stuttgart her hometown as well. Leonie Meyer, the lady needs no introduction, played for Everton, Arsenal, Bayern Munich for several years, and 2 international titles with the national team as well, including an Olympic gold as well. The Indian Tigers and Tigresses got a chance to speak with her, ask her some questions. Of course, there was an autograph signing session also. Well, let me stop here, take a look at how it went.
Marrying mind and muscle. This was Stuttgart's way of building smarter footballers. But what followed next was unforgettable. The kids stepped into the heart of German football, a massive Bundesliga stadium echoing with stories, and right there to welcome them was none other than Leonie Meyer, a name that inspires. From an autograph session to a casual lunch, our kids saw firsthand what grace, grit, and greatness looked like.
I think that's the most important part, also to be disciplined, to be ambitious, to fight, to give everything all the time, never give up, always give 100%, and I think that's the most important thing. I would also recommend to any player who has the chance to play abroad to do it, because it's a nice experience to play somewhere else, and you get to know new people, another culture, different cities. For me it was Liverpool and London, and yeah, they are different, but each of them is unique.
You were in the Merseyside.
I'm the Merseyside, exactly, yeah. And yeah, you get to know a different style of playing football as well, and so yeah, it's just different and it's a great experience.
But hey, while the team in Stuttgart soaked in their dream day, back in Gmunden in Austria, the rest of the Tigers and Tigresses weren't resting either. Under the expert eyes, they underwent a data-based performance analysis, sprint speeds, balance, strength, recovery. This wasn't just about raw skill, it was about building complete athletes. Back at Stuttgart, the stadium tour had only just begun. From the players' locker rooms to the press conference stage, from tunnel chills to fan zone thrills, every step was soaked in legacy. The kids stood where legends had once walked, a goosebumps moment. But before we wrapped, we sat down with the 4 young ambassadors of Indian football to hear what Stuttgart meant to them. Listen in.
बहुत अच्छा लगा, मतलब बहुत सारी नई चीज़ें देखने को मिली, लाइक एक्सपीरियंस करने को मिली। यहाँ के चेंजिंग रूम्स वगैरह, अवे के चेंजिंग रूम्स, होम के चेंजिंग रूम्स, और यहाँ का इतना बड़ा लाइक स्टेडियम, और यहाँ की वाइब बहुत अच्छी है, और लाइक काफ़ी अच्छा लग रहा है। लाइक यहाँ के एक्टिवेशंस रूम जो कि लाइक, और यहाँ के इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर से बड़ी बात ये बहुत अलग है, जो हमारे लाइक इंडिया में स्टेडियम्स होते हैं काफ़ी अलग है। हमारी जिन कोच ने हमें लाइक आज ट्रेनिंग दी थी, काफ़ी बर्डन लगा था ब्रेन काइनेटिक्स करके, बट इट वाज गुड।
इट वॉज अमेजिंग एक्सपीरियंस इन माई लाइफ। और ये मतलब इधर की वाइब जो मन हो रहा है कि खेलूँ मैं इधर, और ये हमको बहुत बड़ी अपॉर्चुनिटी मिली TV9 की तरफ से, अच्छा है। और हमने 2 दिन ट्रेनिंग की जर्मनी में, ये भी बेस्ट ट्रेनिंग थी। सर को भी बताऊंगा, ऐसी ट्रिक्स करवा रहे थे उधर, और ऐसे गेम्स खिला रहे थे।
यहाँ की ट्रेनिंग बहुत ही ज़्यादा अच्छी थी, काफ़ी कुछ सीखने के लिए मिला। आज सुबह हमने ब्रेन टैक्टिकल्स पे वर्क किया, और मुझे ये सब कुछ करके अच्छा लगा। और यहाँ का स्टेडियम बहुत अच्छा है, इंडिया लेवल से ये सब कुछ काफ़ी अच्छा है। जो इन्होंने अंदर ड्रेसिंग रूम्स बनाए हैं, जो प्लेयर्स हैं उनके लिए काफ़ी अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ अच्छी हैं, जो वो घूमते हैं, काफ़ी अच्छा है ये।
Yeah, it's a great experience to see this beautiful and wonderful stadium, and I am lucky I get selected here and able to witness this great stuff, and yeah, I feel lucky, and this is a great opportunity for a player to have such experience. So yeah, each and everything whatever the coaches taught us is great, and I will try to implement in India, and yeah, that's it.
4 kids, 2 days, one unforgettable experience. From Gmunden to Germany, our Tigers and Tigresses are learning the language of world-class football. And you know what? They're just getting started.
Well, so the kids had a fantastic time, needless to say. Our short, sweet little trip here in Stuttgart has in fact come to an end. But this youth development partnership that we've been talking about with VfB Stuttgart, and of course a big thanks to the entire Bundesliga giants for helping the kids out, really telling them what it is that they need to take back home. They need to understand and bridge that gap with the international standards of football and what we've been able to inculcate. This was just a small little speck of what these kids got to admire here, to learn here as well. But with that, we're going to call it off. Many thanks for watching this episode with camera person Govind Sharma. This is Kabir Naqvi from VfB Stuttgart, Germany for the TV9 Network.
Lionel Messi and Federico Bernardeschi, they scored a goal each, but it wasn't enough to tip the scales for either side between host Inter Miami and Toronto FC last night at Fort Lauderdale in Florida. The result was particularly frustrating for Inter Miami, who slipped out of first place in the Eastern Conference standings after a match many expected them to win against Toronto. The result was even more disappointing for the Inter Miami, considering they were able to have Messi start and play the duration of the match, and had fellow stars Luis Suarez, Jordi Alba, Sergio Busquets also in that starting lineup. Further, Inter Miami had 2 goals wiped out, one by offside call and the other due to a foul called on Messi just before he fired a spectacular shot into the back of the net. Messi's shot appeared to have given Inter Miami a 1-0 lead late in the first half. Instead, Toronto scored first. In the 47th minute, Bernardeschi, he controlled a cross from Lorenzo Insigne, and despite being challenged by 2 Miami defenders in front of the goal, tapped it just out of reach of a sliding Miami goalkeeper, Drake Callender. Messi answered almost immediately in the 5th minute of fast half stoppage time. It was Messi's 3rd MLS goal for the season and 6th across all competitions. Inter Miami appeared to take a 1-0 advantage in the 29th minute.
There may be a handball from Luan that may bring this back. But how many times is Lionel
Inter
Messi
Miami
gonna get
appeared
an
to take a 1-0 advantage in the 29th minute when Messi and Luis Suarez set up a shot from the top of the box by Segovia, who scored, but Suarez was ruled to have offside. Messi appeared to score in the 39th minute on a similar long-distance shot, but that goal was disallowed after video-assisted review when it was ruled Messi fouled one of the Toronto defenders before scoring. Toronto also had their chances to strike early in the match, but they missed those opportunities.